MSNBC made the mistake of sitting down with some conservative Pittsburgh area voters to talk about Democrats' favorite subject, January 6th, including whether or not Doug Mastriano, the Republican who's running for governor of Pennsylvania, should be disqualified because he was at the mostly peaceful protest at the Capitol that day. And, well, as you can imagine, things didn't go as MSNBC had planned.
Mastriano was at the insurrection, and he was photographed breaching one of the restricted areas. Is that okay?
Which area? Because I saw a video where Capitol officers were taking away barriers and unlocking doors for people. So, I mean,
they opened the gates.
So it shouldn't be disqualifying for an elected official if they participated in January 6th?
He didn't strike anybody. He didn't hurt anybody.
So what do you make, though, overall of January 6th? I mean, watching that footage, it was pretty disturbing. I mean, there were people throwing excrement at the walls, and it was
No, that's fake news. Now they're throwing it at the walls. In reality, some protesters had tracked mud into the Capitol that got on their shoes from the snow that had melted and turned some of the grassy areas into mud.
Anybody who harmed anybody who caused property destruction, that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah,
but if you're there making your voice heard at the people's house, no less, that's, again, it's a fundamental constitutional right of an American citizen. And people should not be being held political prisoner because of it.
For misdemeanors. That's East Germany.
That's East Germany.
Tactics.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
That is fascism. Violation of the Sixth Amendment, the right to a speedy trial. Many of the peaceful protesters who aren't even accused of breaking anything or assaulting police officers are still in jail awaiting trial, having been denied bail. The Sixth Amendment and the Eighth Amendment. Eighth Amendment is no excessive bail, so they were denied bail. Sixth Amendment to a speedy trial, so here it's been almost 2 years, still no trial. I can't believe that MSNBC actually aired this, but anybody who is still watching MSNBC or CNN at this point thinks that the January 6th protest was worse than September 11th, so seeing these people talk about it in such a kind of cavalier attitude is probably horrifying for them. Doug Mastriano responded to the segment on Twitter saying, "This did not turn out the way MSNBC planned. Their unscripted responses were honest and simply brilliant." I wasn't kidding or speaking in hyperbole when I said that MSNBC viewers think that the protests that day were worse than 9/11. Here's Peter Strzok, who you may recall was one of the conspirators trying to frame Donald Trump as being a Russian agent.
And I think if you look at the scale in terms of the threat to democracy, I mean, 9/11 was a tragedy. We lost thousands of lives in a horrific way that we still mourn to this day. But when you look at something that is an attack on democracy, something that could actually bring about a fundamental change to American governance is...
You mean like Black Lives Matter and Antifa burning hundreds of businesses across the entire country and rioting for the entire summer of 2020?
As we understand it, 9/11 is nothing compared to January 6th. And the fact that
That was a direct quote, by the way. Let's listen to that again.
9/11 is nothing compared to January 6th.
Speaking of the liberal media getting egg on their face, the old bags over at The View invited Ted Cruz onto their show yesterday, and things didn't go exactly as planned for them over there either.
Republicans win, but not when Democrats win. No, here's the thing. We may not like when Republicans win, but we don't go and we don't storm. We don't try to change, but we'll go to Did I miss an entire year of Antifa riots where cities across this country were burning and police cars were being fired?
She doesn't know what an Antifa riot is. Well, technically they were Black Lives Matter riots with the help of Antifa, and they would have burned down the White House with President Trump inside. You may recall he had to be whisked away to a bunker underground when they surrounded it one day, and then thankfully they didn't breach the barriers. There was extra barriers placed around the White House that day. So instead, they decided to light the St. John Episcopal's Church on fire, which was right next door.
St. John's Church is on fire. The parish office, we went downstairs and it is on fire. I'm going to walk this way, and this is awful.
Ted Cruz then took a page out of Kari Lake's playbook and pulled out some notes to help remind anybody who may be watching about all the times, or at least a handful of the many times, that the Democrats undermined our democracy by denying the election results after Hillary Clinton lost in 2016.
All right. Sonny has the question.
She sat there while Donald Trump
Hillary
was getting
Clinton
sworn
says
in.
Trump is an illegitimate president. Hillary Clinton says the election is stolen from you. Hillary Clinton in 2002, George W. Bush was selected, not elected. Joe Biden, Al Gore was elected president. So Joe Biden claims George W. Bush was illegitimate.
Right?
But the fun didn't stop there. Some climate change activists interrupted the show to protest ABC for not talking about climate change enough.
Now! Cover climate now! Cover climate now! ABC needs to cover climate change more instead of platforming a climate denier like Ted Cruz. ABC spent less than 6 hours last year covering climate change.
Things just didn't start off on the right foot this week for the liberal media. Yesterday on Comedy Central's YouTube channel, which has over 11 million subscribers, they did a special live stream called Stand Up and Vote Early in order to try to encourage people to vote in the midterm elections here in just 2 weeks. And this is how it started. Again, this is on Comedy Central's YouTube channel.
What are the midterms? What do they do? I read a WikiHow because I didn't have a clue. I mean, my knowledge still is very limited. I thought it was kind of like the Winter Olympics. See, the broad strokes is that the midterms are elections that happen in the middle of a presidential term where you can vote for governors, senators, local officials, and any seat in Congress you could dream of.
Oh, and I forgot to mention that it had a whopping 226 people watching it 39 minutes into the stream. Literally, they barely got 200 people watching on a YouTube channel that has over 11 million subscribers. Bear with me for just a little more cringe. This is what you're missing if you don't watch Comedy Central.
I know what you're thinking. Not another celebrity telling me to vote. Yes, another celebrity telling you to vote. You think we want to be doing this every 2 years? We don't. You know, I could be making big money with these selfie videos. Instead, I'm here telling you that the midterm elections are right around the corner. So make a plan to vote.
Thank you, Mr. Celebrity. You always know what's best, which is why I sell my Celebrities Know What's Best shirt from my online store at markdice.com. And this newly minted TikTok celebrity, who we've all unfortunately bared witness to, if you've logged onto the internet over the last 2 months, was invited to the White House to interview the supposed president, Joe Biden. And when they made this TikTok video saying that they were invited, many people thought it was just a joke or just a parody, but it was real.
This is my 221st day of publicly transitioning.
God love you.
Look at old Joe. He's thinking, I should really be interviewing some construction workers or union members at the local factories or some coal miners, but instead he has to sit down with this person. And this exclusive interview was organized by the Now This Content Farm. They have, I think, millions of Facebook followers, 2 million YouTube subscribers, and they just pollute cyberspace with their short-form content. And despite this exclusive sit-down interview with old Joe, it got 39,000 views. And look at that, my comment is the top thumbed-up comment, asking, is Dylan Mulvaney a troll mocking the liberal agenda? Or has society gone this far off the rails? And now this individual is repped by CAA. They have a publicist and a manager through them, Creative Artist Agencies, which is one of the biggest and most powerful agencies in Hollywood. The same agency that just canceled their relationship with Kanye West due to his recent comments on his views of the industry. And now the other major Hollywood talent agency, the CEO of there, Ari Emanuel, is calling on everyone to cancel Kanye. Not just Adidas dropping his Yeezy clothing line, but Apple and Spotify to literally take his music off the streaming platforms. But yesterday, Kanye West did another very lengthy podcast interview, this time with Lex Friedman, who is a computer researcher or an artificial intelligence expert and into robotics. And he sits down with a lot of big names in tech and people kind of from all walks of life, but he tends to focus on technology, and sat down with Kanye to talk about his supposed venture into the tech world, buying Parler, when Kanye made a very interesting but not all unexpected revelation regarding Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire.
They told Candace Owens I couldn't be on the Daily Wire. Like, you can't even explain yourself. And we don't care how you got to that point either. And that's f***ed up.
They told Candace you can't be on Daily Wire?
It's not even about, yes, she did. That's what they said.
Excuse me, Kanye, or Mr. Ye, but there is one show that you will be allowed to speak freely on, and that, of course, is the Alex Jones Show. We're all just kind of wondering if you're ever going to reach out to Alex and make that happen. By the way, the same show that really first discovered Candace Owens and did an in-studio interview with her when she was just an unknown YouTuber many years ago.
Thanks for coming into town.
I'm so happy to be here.
Great to have you. You're even more impressive in person. It's wonderful to have you.
So, Candace, people are waiting for you to hook up your new friend with your old friend since your new boss won't allow you to talk with him. And to support my work, order a free Speech Zone shirt from my online store at markdice.com. Click the link in the description below. Or if that's not your style, pick up an F. Joe Biden shirt, a Conspiracy Fact, MK Ultra shirt, or any of my awesome designs, all available on a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.